On November 23, 2013, in the Santa Cruz Harbor, California, one of the most influential figures in the tech industry, Forrest Hayes, was found deceased. His body was discovered aboard his luxury yacht, the Escape, which he personally owned. Forrest was found unconscious in one of the cabins, and efforts to revive him were unsuccessful. The first responders were local law enforcement, summoned by the yacht's captain. The discovery of the body was surrounded by several puzzling circumstances. Forrest was found lying on his back, showing no signs of struggle. A noticeable injection mark was visible on his arm, but no syringe or medical supplies were found nearby. This immediately raised questions for investigators, prompting them to consider whether this was an accident or a deliberate act. The cabin where Forrest was found was in disarray. On a small table in front of him were 2 wine glasses, one of which bore lipstick marks, suggesting he had company. All the windows were carefully covered with curtains, and the lighting was dim, creating an air of privacy. The scene seemed oddly staged, yet there were no overt signs of violent behavior. The yacht's captain informed the police that Forrest frequently used the vessel for private outings. He mentioned that while Forrest often enjoyed spending time alone on the yacht, he occasionally entertained guests. However, the captain did not see anyone board or leave the yacht after Forrest embarked on this particular trip. The coroner's initial examination suggested the possibility of an overdose on substances as the cause of death. However, at the onset of the investigation, it was unclear whether this overdose was accidental or intentional. The absence of a syringe near the body raised more questions. Had the syringe been removed intentionally, or was it never there to begin with? In search of leads, investigators began delving into Forrest's life, his contacts, business dealings, personal relationships, and the events leading up to his death. The key question was, who had been with Forrest during the final hours of his life? The wine glass with lipstick and the lack of clear evidence at the scene hinted at the presence of a woman. Yet, neither the captain nor the harbor staff reported seeing anyone leave the yacht after Forrest boarded it. The investigation started with an examination of Forrest's phone, which was found near his body. A preliminary review of his apps and messages did not reveal anything suspicious. However, the detectives decided to conduct a deeper dive into his personal life. Despite Forrest's flawless professional reputation, investigators suspected he might have had a hidden side of his life that could offer clues about what had happened. Through a detailed investigation of Forrest's connections and habits, it became evident that his seemingly perfect life might have concealed unexpected secrets. Uncovering these became a primary focus for law enforcement as they worked to understand what transpired aboard the Escape that fateful evening. Forrest Hayes was born on May 10, 1962, in Dearborn, Michigan. From an early age, he displayed remarkable learning abilities. His curiosity, knack for solving complex problems, and natural charisma made him a leader among his peers. Teachers and classmates frequently remarked on his magnetic personality and drive for excellence, qualities that laid the foundation for his future professional success. After graduating high school, Forrest enrolled at a prestigious university, where he studied engineering and computer science. He quickly mastered the cutting-edge technologies of the era and began developing his own projects, which caught the attention of major tech companies. His career took off in the early 1980s, a period when the information technology industry was just beginning to flourish. A pivotal moment in Forrest's career came when he joined Apple in 2005. At the time, Apple was undergoing rapid growth and was actively developing groundbreaking products such as the iPhone and iPad. Forrest secured a position in one of the company's key departments, responsible for creating innovative technologies. His contributions to Apple's projects were so significant that he quickly earned the respect of his colleagues and leadership. Forrest was more than just a skilled professional, he was an innovator. He had a rare talent for finding unconventional solutions to complex challenges, making him an indispensable member of the team. Colleagues recalled his relentless drive to implement forward-thinking ideas that enhanced the functionality and accessibility of Apple's products. During his tenure, Forrest worked on technologies that later became industry standards. However, Forrest's ambitions didn't allow him to rest on his laurels. Soon, he accepted an offer from Google, joining the global tech giant in 2007. At Google, he became part of Google X, a division dedicated to developing cutting-edge technologies. His role involved coordinating projects related to autonomous vehicles, smart devices, and other forward-looking innovations. Among his achievements, Forrest contributed to the development of self-driving vehicle systems, a groundbreaking advancement in the field of autonomous transportation. Colleagues described Forrest Hayes as someone who could inspire a team and guide them toward ambitious goals. He was a strict yet fair leader who fostered a healthy work environment. Forrest wasn't afraid to take on the most challenging tasks, earning him the respect and admiration of his team. His ability to combine strategic thinking with attention to detail allowed him to successfully lead large-scale projects that shaped the future of technology. Forrest's professional achievements were deeply intertwined with his family life. In 1996, he married Denise Hayes, forming a strong bond built on mutual understanding and support. The couple had 5 children: Lauren, Daniel, Lily, Roscoe, and Zoa. Forrest was not just a successful businessman, he was also a devoted father. Despite his demanding work schedule, he always made time for his family. According to those close to him, he cherished spending time with his kids, organizing family trips, and creating traditions that brought them closer together. Forrest's family life appeared to be harmonious. Their home, valued at $3 million, was located in one of California's most prestigious neighborhoods, offering a haven of comfort and tranquility. However, Forrest's greatest joy came from outings on his yacht, the Escape. For him, the yacht was more than just a vessel. It was a symbol of family unity. He frequently took his family on short trips, enjoying quality time and relaxation away from the hustle of city life. Colleagues and friends admired Forrest's ability to balance his professional success with his dedication to his family. He served as an example of how to juggle career achievements with personal commitments. His meticulous nature and drive to excel in everything he did left a lasting impression on those around him. Yet despite the outward harmony, Forrest occasionally confided in close friends about feeling a sense of emptiness. He felt as though he had achieved everything he could dream of, but it didn't bring him complete fulfillment. This restlessness may have been part of what drove him to seek new experiences and interests, which ultimately led to tragic consequences. A significant element of Forrest's secret life was his use of the app Seeking arrangement. This platform facilitates connections between affluent individuals and younger partners for informal relationships that often involve financial support. Forrest was an active user of the app. An investigation into his account revealed that he had been messaging dozens of women, arranging meetings, and negotiating the terms of their interactions. These relationships went beyond casual acquaintances. Forrest was known to generously support his partners, covering their expenses, giving expensive gifts, and arranging meetings in private settings. One of those locations was his yacht, the Escape. Initially used as a family vessel for short trips, it eventually became a personal retreat where Forrest invited women he met through the app. The yacht provided the privacy he needed, allowing him to avoid unwanted attention. The yacht's captain, who worked for Forrest, later told the police that it was often used for such meetings. He recalled that Forrest occasionally took women on short trips or spent several hours alone with them on board. According to the captain, this became a regular occurrence, but he refrained from asking questions, as he was bound by a confidentiality agreement. These encounters often involved alcohol, and in some instances the use of prohibited substances. Messages found on Forrest's phone revealed discussions about acquiring these substances. At times, his partners would bring them along at his request. This revelation shocked his colleagues and family, who were unaware of his double life. Investigators focused particular attention on one woman Forrest had met through Seeking arrangement. A week before his death, he arranged a meeting with her on the yacht. They spent the evening drinking wine and later used substances that led to Forrest feeling unwell. In messages exchanged after the meeting, Forrest mentioned that he wasn't feeling good, but did not intend to stop engaging in such activities. Forrest's life was divided into 2 worlds. In one, he was a devoted husband, father, and professional with an impeccable reputation. In the other, he sought thrill and temporary escape from routine. His colleagues and friends had no inkling of this hidden side of him, and his family believed that his trips on the yacht were simply his way of coping with stress. These private meetings, which Forrest saw as a way to unwind from his demanding work schedule, ultimately had tragic consequences. The yacht, once a symbol of his success and freedom, became the setting where his double life collided with his untimely death. The revelations forced investigators and Forrest's loved ones to reconsider their image of a man they had thought to be flawless. Alexandra Catherine Tillman, known as Alex, was born on April 8, 1987, in Canada. Her biological parents were unknown, as she was adopted at an early age by Leslie Ann and Bart Tillman. Her new family provided Alex with a stable and nurturing upbringing, including a comfortable home and financial security. Leslie Ann worked in retail, while Bart held an executive position at a major company, granting the family a high social standing. Alex grew up in a happy environment. She did well at school, especially in literature, and dreamed of becoming a writer. Her teachers recognized her creative thinking and vivid imagination. In addition, she was fond of sports and actively participated in school competitions. Her parents were proud of their daughter, invested in her education, and supported her ambitions. However, adolescence was the beginning of a series of problems for Alex. At 14, she tried pot for the first time. It was more of a random decision, but it led to a gradual involvement in the world of the forbidden. At first, it was light substances, but by the age of 16, Alex began to use heavier drugs. During this period, her life changed dramatically. She began to skip classes, left sports sections, and distanced herself from her parents. Leslie Ann and Bart Tillman tried their best to help their daughter. They turned to psychologists and took her to counseling, but the situation continued to deteriorate. In a desperate attempt to remedy the situation, they sent Alex to a private rehabilitation school in Maine. This school was known for its strict approach to educating teens with behavioral problems. The parents hoped that isolation from the familiar environment would help their daughter return to normal life. However, the stay at the school did not bring the expected results. Alex was unable to adapt to the new environment and soon returned home, where she slipped back into her former lifestyle. By the age of 18, Alex finally dropped out of school. She tried to find herself in various directions, including journalism, but quickly lost interest. Her attempts to succeed were constantly thwarted by a return to medication. She lived in a state of constant struggle with addictions, which did not allow her to establish either her personal or professional life. In 2010, Alex moved to San Francisco. She hoped to start a new chapter of her life by dedicating herself to the entertainment industry. During this period, she created a YouTube channel where she posted videos about makeup and her everyday experiences. However, the project was unsuccessful, and Alex faced disappointment once again. Looking for a way to stand out, she turned to the modeling industry. But realizing that the standard parameters for a successful modeling career did not suit her, Alex chose the niche of fetish photography. She participated in photo shoots in the BDSM style, where the emphasis was placed on epitage and provocation. This choice helped her find her audience but did not bring financial stability. Alex continued to struggle with addictions, living from order to order and constantly facing challenges. In 2011, Alex began using the seeking arrangement platform. This decision became a way for her to connect with affluent partners who could provide her with financial support and access to a more luxurious lifestyle. Through this platform, Alex met Forrest Hayes. Their relationship began with discussions about the terms of their meetings, which was a standard practice on the platform. Forrest was seeking a companion for private get-togethers aboard his yacht, Escape, offering financial assistance and generous gifts in return for Alex. He represented a chance to achieve the stability she desperately needed. Their meetings were casual and often accompanied by wine and light conversation. However, their interactions soon took on a different dimension, as investigators later discovered. Forrest occasionally requested Alex to bring prohibited substances to their meetings, offering her additional compensation for doing so. Seeing this as an opportunity to earn more, Alex agreed. Their meetings became a regular occurrence, with the yacht Escape serving as their primary meeting place. One of the significant figures from Alex Tillman's past was Dean Riopelle, a musician, businessman, and owner of popular nightclubs in Atlanta. Their relationship began in 2011 and quickly garnered attention due to the considerable age gap between them. Dean was 51 at the time, while Alex was just 24. However, neither of them seemed to mind the difference, fully immersing themselves in an intense and vibrant lifestyle. Dean was not only a successful entrepreneur but also a passionate rock musician. His clubs were central to Atlanta's music scene, and his band regularly performed at these venues. Dean was known for his charisma, energy, and love for a free-spirited way of life. For Alex, who was searching for both stability and attention, Dean became a prominent figure in her life. Their relationship embodied the romanticized chaos of rock and roll, wild parties, travel, and a carefree existence. Yet, beneath the glamorous surface of their relationship lay significant conflicts. Dean's friends and colleagues noted that Alex often instigated arguments. Her impulsive nature, exacerbated by alcohol and substance use, made their relationship volatile. In September 2013, just weeks before the tragic events involving Forrest Hayes, Alex filed a police report alleging aggression by Dean. However, when officers arrived, they found a very different situation. According to witnesses, Alex had been acting erratically that night. She had consumed too much alcohol, caused a scene at one of the clubs, and physically lashed out at Dean, even biting his finger and leaving visible marks. As a result, Alex herself was charged with filing a false report and assault. This incident highlighted the ongoing strain in their relationship, which, despite mutual affection, was unraveling under the weight of constant conflict. A few weeks later, on September 24, 2013, Dean Ryapel was found unconscious in his home. Alex called emergency services, reporting that he had collapsed after a long night of partying. She claimed she had stepped into the bathroom briefly, and when she returned, she found him lying on the floor. Paramedics arrived and pronounced him dead at the scene. An autopsy revealed that the cause of death was a heart attack brought on by an overdose of prohibited substances. However, this conclusion raised doubts among Dean's friends and family. They insisted that Dean had a strong aversion to using drugs and avoided even basic painkillers. His firm stance on the matter made the official ruling on his death seem inconsistent. Despite their concerns, the case was closed due to a lack of evidence suggesting foul play. Dean's death, initially labeled an accident, resurfaced in 2014 when Alex was arrested in connection with the case of Forrest Hayes. During the investigation, police uncovered similarities between the two incidents. The substances that led to Forrest's death were identical to those found in Dean's system. This discovery prompted the reopening of the inquiry into Dean's death. Additionally, Alex's cryptic posts on social media further fueled suspicions. In one post shared a few months after Dean's passing, she wrote, "Death is always near. It could be closer than you think." These words sparked widespread speculation, though Alex never offered an explanation or clarification. Dean's family supported the reopening of the case, arguing that the initial investigation had been superficial. They believed Alex's behavior in connection to prohibited substances suggested her possible involvement in his death. However, no concrete evidence was ever found to link her directly to the incident. The parallels between the deaths of Dean Ryapel and Forrest Hayes led investigators to suspect that Alex's actions might not have been mere coincidences, but part of a larger pattern. Despite the renewed focus, Dean's case remains officially closed, and Alex's alleged involvement has never been proven. This ambiguity continues to leave lingering questions that may never be answered. Investigators were able to reconstruct the events of the night. Forrest was found deceased thanks to a combination of evidence, witness accounts, and video recordings retrieved from cameras aboard the yacht. On November 23, 2013, Forrest arrived at Escape in the afternoon, as was his routine, and boarded alone. Shortly afterward, Alex Tillman joined him on the yacht. According to the captain's testimony, Forrest had requested that the crew leave the yacht for the evening, explaining that he wanted privacy and a quiet night to relax. Several cameras on the yacht were still operational. The footage revealed Forrest and Alex in the main cabin, talking, laughing, and drinking wine. Alex had brought a bag with her, which, as later confirmed, contained substances and syringes. As the evening progressed, the conversation became more casual, and Alex retrieved a syringe filled with a substance. She injected herself first and then offered it to Forrest, who agreed. The camera captured the exact moment of the injection. Shortly after Forrest received the dose, his condition deteriorated rapidly. He lost consciousness and collapsed onto the couch. Initially, Alex didn't grasp the seriousness of the situation. She continued sipping her wine and looking around the cabin. Eventually, she tried to revive Forrest, shaking him by the shoulders, but he didn't respond. Realizing that Forrest wasn't waking up, Alex panicked. Her actions became frantic as she began gathering her belongings, including the syringes and remaining substances, in an attempt to remove potential evidence. She then wiped the wine glass she had used, attempting to remove lipstick marks, though she missed some. The camera also showed her hastily drawing the curtains in the cabin, inspecting the scene, and ensuring that no clear evidence of her presence remained. Afterward, Alex left the yacht without notifying anyone of what had happened. She left Forrest unconscious, lying on the couch for the next several hours. No one disturbed him. It wasn't until later, when Forrest's concerned wife contacted the captain, that he returned to the yacht and discovered Forrest's body. The investigation revealed that Alex had tried to disappear after the incident. She turned off her phone and left the marina, likely to avoid detection. However, the yacht's video recordings, along with traces of lipstick on the wine glass, fingerprints, and text messages between Forrest and Alex on his phone, allowed investigators to piece together the sequence of events. Alex's actions aboard Escape indicated that she was a key figure in the tragedy. Her panicked flight and efforts to remove evidence raised suspicions that she was attempting to evade accountability. However, one critical question remained unanswered. Was the injection deliberate, or was it a reckless decision made in the heat of the moment? Once Alex Tillman was identified as a central figure in the death of Forrest Hayes, law enforcement began a manhunt to locate her. Alex had gone into hiding immediately after the incident, further solidifying suspicions of her involvement. Her phone remained off, and her once active social media accounts showed no updates, making her harder to track. Investigators devised a plan. They focused on Alex's profile on Seeking Arrangement, the platform through which she had originally connected with Forrest. This app became the key to locating her. Using a fake profile, investigators created the persona of a wealthy man interested in meeting new companions. Despite trying to avoid attention, Alex couldn't resist the opportunity for financial gain and agreed to meet. After several days of messaging, she arranged a meeting at a secluded location in California. When Alex arrived for the meeting, she was apprehended by law enforcement officers. The operation went smoothly. Alex did not resist, but her demeanor was described as indifferent and composed during the arrest. She stated that she didn't understand the charges against her. However, she was soon formally accused of second-degree manslaughter, evidence tampering, and illegal distribution of prohibited substances. The trial began in early 2014 and quickly became a media sensation. Due to her appearance and controversial past, Alex became the center of public and media attention, dubbed the beauty-turned-criminal. Her photos, past interviews, and behavior were widely discussed. During court appearances, Alex maintained a calm and confident image, often dressed impeccably, which drew mixed reactions from the public. The prosecution argued that Alex was fully aware of the risks of her actions. They presented video footage from the yacht, showing her administering an injection to Forrest, and then leaving the scene without offering him any assistance. This, the prosecution claimed, demonstrated her indifference and deliberate attempts to cover her tracks. Alex's defense team contended that she acted at Forrest's request and had no intention of causing harm. Her lawyers asserted that his death was a tragic accident and that her hurried departure was driven by panic. They also emphasized that Forrest himself had requested the substances and willingly consented to the injection. Public opinion was deeply divided. Some saw Alex as a cold-hearted criminal whose actions led to the death of a successful and respected individual. Others viewed her as a victim of circumstance, questioning the ethics of Forrest's behavior, including his use of a dating platform and participation in risky activities. In May 2015, Alex reached a plea agreement with the prosecution. She pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and possession of prohibited substances in exchange for a reduced sentence and avoidance of a jury trial. She was sentenced to 6 years in prison with credit for time already served. The decision sparked another wave of debate. Some considered the sentence too lenient given the circumstances, while others felt it was fair, given the lack of clear evidence of intentional harm. After serving her sentence, Alex was deported to Canada, her country of birth, in 2017. However, her name continued to surface in discussions and articles related to high-profile crimes.